How's it going, everyone? Today we're going to take a look at the new version 9 software from Tesla. There are some things that have changed for the better and for the worse, so let's check them out. So to start off with, the very top bar, if you remember, hasn't changed. So you still have the lock unlock here. You could check the state of charge. Now this is a little different, as you'll see with the others, where it's kind of like placed at the bottom instead of in the middle, if you can remember. Here, the driver profiles, the Tesla T, where you can see all the information, as well as the Easter eggs, where we'll get back to the Easter egg there, the new video games there from Atari. Those are pretty fun. As well as the time, the Wi-Fi connection, or in this case the LTE connection, and Bluetooth to connect your phone. So the top part, once again, hasn't changed at all. Now these next few parts here did change a little. So as you can tell, we are here in the Maps app, if you will, but it's no longer really an app. It's always present. So whether you have music there or you have, the web, it's always going to be in the background. You see, it's always there. So this is one thing that I personally don't really like, because I liked having the it's always like that. I liked having the dual screen where you could switch them, or have one full screen. But here you can't have it. Like if I want the music at the top, you can't really rotate the places. So personally, I'm not a big fan of that, but I see why they did it. So you can see here, the map is a lot bigger, uses all the top real estate here, if you will. And if you remember, if you tap once, the apps would come up at the top there, but now there's no longer that. Now if you tap, it's just to show the to zoom in or out, as well as the what mode you want your navigation in. So this is just the normal maps, and if you tap the little world there, it's like the Google Maps, and here you can see the traffic conditions, and the little lightning bolt there is to see all the superchargers and destination chargers. So technically the map interface hasn't really changed. Once again, here there's the heading up or north up. It's still pinch and zoom. Here, navigate didn't really change a lot. It's a new little look, but in terms of searching, it's all the same as the previous version, which is nice. So the bottom here, it did change. We'll keep the options for last, save best for last, because that will take a hot minute to explain. But you can tell here at the bottom right, nothing changed in terms of the volume. It's still at the bottom right. These two did change though. The window defrosters, if you remember, they were to the left and right of the climate, but now they're bunched into one. The front heated seats are still there. Nothing has changed there. But these two are new here. So if you remember, there was the dual climate zone. So you could, if you want 23 degrees on the passenger side and 26 degrees on the driver's side, you could have that dual. Well, here, where is it? Well, you'd want to click on here, and then you'd tap on sync, and you see now it splits into two. And so you could adjust that, sync, and then it splits into one. So that's pretty cool. Nice little design there. Now this, it gets a little complicated. It took me quite a couple minutes to figure out. But here we are. So you can see there is to the left here where you want the airflow to go, so towards the legs, towards your head, and I think that's towards the windows, if I'm not mistaken. But so just different directions here. Here you could tap on auto, so it'll auto adjust, of course, but I don't like having it on auto. Here you could adjust the fan speed, which you could also do from the steering wheel, just like before. And here's to turn it on or off. And you see it just goes away when you turn it off. To the right here, you have the air conditioning, the bioweapon defense mode, and to recirculate the air in the cabin. Now you might be wondering, hey, well, where do I, go for my heated steering wheel or heated seats in the back? Well, you'd go right here, right underneath, and then you could see the heated seats, all off, heated steering wheel. So this little zone here is the cold weather package, if you will. So yeah, it does take a little bit to get used to, just to know where everything was. This morning I drove the car and the windows were fogging up, and I was like, where's the window defogger and all that. But it's kind of hidden now, but I think it's better. The next little icon here is the music one. So you tap that, it pops up the music, which you can technically do like kind of full screen. It's like 2/3 screen, so you still have the map in the background, which I like, but once again, I do miss the aspect of being able to rotate them. But the music didn't really change here. Bottom left, you have radio, where you could choose from all your radio stations. You have streaming, where you could listen to, you know, Muse radio. Here with your iPhone, if you connect your device, you could listen to your own playlists there. There's TuneIn, and of course here, bottom right, search any music. So if you remember, the search was kind of to the top left, if I do recall, and now it's at the bottom right, search any music. So, you know, once again, I used it in a prior video, the example, but U2, you search U2, and there are no results. Why is that? There you go. So then U2, and then there you go. Still haven't found what I'm looking for. And there you see connect phone. Now, what is cool about the music tab, you could kind of have it like 2/3, 1/3, or like 1/5. So you'll see here, so that's like the 2/3, kind of the full screen. Then there you have the kind of like 1/3 / half screen, but then you also have the 1/5 or something just at the bottom, which I love that aspect of it. Moving on here, you might be wondering, well, if the apps aren't up there, where are they? Well, it's this little one here. So you tap that, and then you can see all the different apps: calendar, energy, web, camera, call, charging, and little Easter egg here. You see it's call. If you hold it for a couple seconds, now goes ahoy hoy, which is from The Simpsons, Mr. Burns. I'll try and insert a clip here of him saying ahoy hoy.
Would you like me to shred those environmental reports for you, sir?
Already taken care of. Cappuccino, Simpson? Ahoy hoy.
But yeah, so nothing has really changed. Calendar, the only thing, like, you can't rotate, so, but in terms of layout, nothing really changed. Energy is still there. You could check out your consumption from your trip, or just normally, so 10, 25, 50 kilometers, instant, average range, and once again, so yeah, technically we have like 3 screens open, right? So, because it's the maps, the energy, and the music. So I do really like that, because I loved, there we go, if we go straight to the camera, I loved having the camera and the navigation open, but I would often switch back to music. So now we could have all 3 of them open. So this is probably my favorite feature of version 9. So you can still see where you're going on the maps if you're not familiar with your surroundings. You still have your camera, and you have your music as well. Now, I did always have my camera up top, so it's a little different, but I think this is a fantastic feature of having all 3 open. But yeah, just going back here, the web, this you could also go kind of full screen, but it's super slow. I rarely use it. So there you go. What other apps are there? There's the call if you have your phone connected, and there is also charging, which is, you could also access just right there. So that's kind of the main differences. I think the biggest takeaway is that you can't do the switch around, and that you can have 3 things open at once: the music, the camera, and the navigation, or etc. So that I really like, but I don't know, the switch around one, I do miss that a little bit. So where it does get a little complicated, and where it took me several minutes to find out where everything was, is in the options. So if you click there, bottom left, if you remember, there was settings and controls. So there are 2 tabs, but now it's all into one. The main kind of theme here is it's to mimic, or it's to resemble the Model 3. So if you're familiar with the Model 3 kind of user interface, it's very similar to that. So all the tabs are here to the left, and then everything's to the right, of course. So the first one, top left, quick controls. So you have your doors, your display brightness, pardon me, and then your exterior lights. So previously, if you remember, there was a doors little tab, but now it's in quick controls. Seats, just like before, nothing changed here. So you could adjust the seats forward and backwards if someone wants to get into the 3rd row, and you also have easy entry. Suspension, nothing changed here either. You could adjust the ride height, you could adjust the suspension according to the speed. Lights, just like in quick controls, you could adjust the lights from the exterior. But there's also the dome lights in the interior, and also auto high beam and headlights on after exit. Driving, you could switch from chill or standard. If you have the ludicrous, you can go to sport and ludicrous. Steering mode, comfort standard sport. Regenerative braking, creep mode, slip start, and range mode. I don't think much has changed from the driving tab. I think this is very similar to the previous version. Autopilot, you could adjust your offset, your speed limit, etc. Nothing really changed here. Vehicle, this is where it gets a little different, I think, because they incorporated a couple tabs. So here you have the Falcon Wing door height, the driver unlock, the walk-away door lock, the auto tilt, auto fold, smart preconditioning, just kind of little knickknacks here. Display, just like in quick controls, you could adjust the brightness. You can put it into day mode, night mode, or automatic. Energy savings, screen clean mode, language. So this bottom part is kind of, if you remember, I think it was in the controls and it was the units. So here you could change from a temperature to have it in Fahrenheit or Celsius, the distance in kilometers or miles, and also have the energy displayed in energy or distance. So if we go back to energy here, 219 kilometers, well, if you go energy, that is 60% for this 75D, but I like mine in distance. Trips, I don't think this has changed either. You could have all the trip information. Navigation, I think this is pretty similar to the previous version as well. So, you know, avoid tolls, etc. And yeah, safety, security, service. So nothing really changed. It just kind of, they rearranged it really. So you just have to kind of figure out where they are. It takes a minute, but yeah, display brightness and you know, driving lights. All in all, I know there are a lot of people that freaked out about it, but all in all, I do like it. Once again, I think I've mentioned it 5 times so far, but I do like the triple aspect of camera, maps, and music. That's just a personal preference of mine. If you're wondering if anything changed behind the steering wheel here, nothing. It's still the same. If you hold the scroll button here, it's still on the right. It's going to be your clock here, your media, your energy, trips, car status, and your phone. On the left, if you hold the wheel, there you go. It's also going to be clock, media, energy, trips, car status, as well as your route if you enter navigation. There you go. It's going to pop up to your left there. But yeah, everything's the same here. Temperature, fan speed, I can't even talk today. Display brightness, recent calls, and contacts. So nothing really changed. It just looks a little different. And if I turn the car on here, there we go. The icon's a little smaller, and the cars around, they look a little different too, but nothing changed really. It's just a little refresh, a little facelift. I just forgot to show you guys the Easter eggs here, the video games. So if you scroll down, so Atari, so you have a choice of, I think, 4 different games. There we are. So you have Asteroids, Lunar Lander, Missile Command, and Centipede. Now, I personally am not familiar with any of these games. I didn't grow up with video games, and these games are a little before my time. But I spent a little bit of time playing around, and it's pretty fun. So you see here, you start, and then you hear the sound effects, and then kind of move around, and you... but yeah, you can see it's fun little games like that. That was just Centipede, I think. And then you have Missile Command, which I haven't played this one yet. Missile Command. Start. Okay, what's this one? Okay, so it looks like you're controlling that little blue dot. And okay, so these are shots, I guess. And I guess you don't want the red things to touch the ground, if I were to guess. Anyways, you guys are probably going to roast me in the comments, but I have no idea how to play these games. I didn't grow up with these. But yeah, it's a fun little thing. I was supercharging earlier and I was messing around. But what's this one? Lunar Landing, I think. Yeah, it's a fun little Easter egg. And there we have it. All in all, I think it's a pretty cool update. I know there are some people that hate aspects of it, but you know, there's always pros and cons with updates. But I think the pros outweigh the cons. I don't know. I haven't spent too much time with it, but from what I've experienced so far, it's been, I can't say 2 thumbs up, but maybe 1 thumbs up. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one.